Hello everyone and welcome to Yoga by the Moon. My name is Michelle and I'm here to guide you through a practice for the first quarter moon positioned in Pisces for November 28th of 2025. So the first quarter moon, we just came off the new moon last week, right? We set intentions. We discovered ourselves with Scorpio. We really tapped into what makes us in alignment with who we are, right? And we set intentions to move forward in alignment with dreams and passions and goals that work with that alignment, that true self of ours, right? And so the first quarter moon, we take this actionable energy and we start to take actionable steps towards making those dreams reality. We start to move forward with allowing those plans to unfold. And that is what the first quarter moon is all about. And we actually are moving into Sagittarius season now. And Sagittarius is a fire sign. It is the forward mover, the forward thinker, the excited adventurer, the ambitious energy. And it's represented by a centaur, right? So you just, holding the bow and arrow, shooting forward energy. That's kind of the key words for Sagittarius. And that energy just kind of jumbles up and snowballs this forward momentum in the first quarter moon, right? So now we can really take these steps and barrel forward with confidence, with forward thinking, with calculated steps towards making our dreams reality. One other very interesting thing about this particular first quarter moon is it's positioned in Pisces, a water sign. Pisces is known as the dreamer, very intuitive, very empathic, very much about lofty goals and ambitions. So we tie in that idea of dreaming with our forward momentum so that we can really keep those dreams in mind and forward, front and center. But we also, instead of just using our brain and our intellect like Sagittarius asks of us, we can also use our gut feelings, our intuition, the intuitive sense that Pisces brings. So we can think with our brains up here, and they always have that concept of the gut brain connection, right? You have that gut feeling, which is sort of a brain in your gut, right? And that's intuition. So we can tap into our brain in our head and our brain in our gut all at the same time between Sagittarius and Pisces. It really lets us tune in a different way than Scorpio did. And we can move forward with those dreams. Take those actionable steps with those dreams. Be thoughtful, forward-thinking, action-minded. Now, I know that my channel's probably gotten used to a lot of gentle wind-down practices because a lot of the moon phases have asked that of us. That's also what I do tend to prefer to do myself. However, this particular moon really asks us to have forward momentum and high energy. So we do have a little bit of a high energy practice today, even though we will also be bringing it down too, so we can tune in and use that empathic ability of Pisces. Be compassionate to ourselves because that's also what Pisces wants from us too. So we'll do a little bit of that also, especially before we get to our meditation. To begin, we're going to just do a breath practice called right nostril breathing, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You're going to take your forefinger on your left hand and seal off your left nostril. Now I know I probably sound a little nasally, a little funny, but all you're going to do is we're going to take 5 deep inhales and exhales in and out through the right nostril. What that does is it activates the left portion of our brain, which is the intellectual side. It is energizing for our body. So we're tapping into this forward, motion of Sagittarius, of the first quarter moon, that intellect of Sagittarius, all while activating this left hemisphere of our brain through this right nostril breathing. So we're really tuning into that part of this particular moon. So let's take 5 deep inhales and exhales in and out the nose, sealing off that left nostril. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. 2 more in. Out. Last one in. Out. Now release that left hand. Just gently bring your palms to the top of your thighs. Maybe you're sitting back on your heels. That's a good place to start our practice for positioning, kind of sitting on our shins with our bum back on our heels. If that's not comfortable sitting here in Hero, you're welcome to take a block or a pillow and stick it underneath your bum, kind of creating some space there so that you're not sitting directly on your heels and your shins and giving your knees a little bit of relief if that's more comfortable. Whatever's comfortable for you. Keep that block handy, however, we will be using it later. And just take a moment, noticing, arriving at your mat, remembering those intentions you set with the new moon so that we can think of how we're going to move forward. And breathe. Our movement today is going to begin gently. It's still an invigorating motion, but it's still a gentle way to energize the body. And it's just simple sun breaths on our knees. So we're going to, if you weren't already in Hero, sitting back on your heels with your shins touching the mat, please make your way that way. And then have your hands to your side, palms facing outward. As you take a moment here. And we're going to inhale and rise up on our knees as we sweep our hands up overhead, bringing them together up overhead. And as you exhale, turn them outward, bringing them back down to the mat and sitting back down. 2 more sun breaths just like that. Inhale, up, looking up towards the ceiling, stretching, reaching. Exhale, bring it all down. Bring that energy back down to the mat. Last one. Inhale, sweep those hands up overhead, reach. Exhale, turn those hands out, bring them back down to the mat as we sit back down. Now we're going to come back up to kind of standing on our knees like this. And we're going to take our left leg and straighten it out to the side next to us, out to the left. It's sort of this, creating this sort of triangle with our legs. We're going to slide our left hand down our leg. Maybe you reach the top of your shin. Maybe you're up at your thigh. Just don't press down into your knee wherever you are. And reach your right arm up and overhead for gate pose. And now we're going to take that right hand and plant it on the mat outside our right hip as we reach our left arm overhead to reverse that. And now with our breath on an inhale, we're going to go back to gate. Exhale to this sort of supported side plank, modified side plank. We're going to do that 3 times together. So ready, inhale to gate on the left. Exhale, modified side plank. 2 more, inhale, gate. Exhale, modified side plank. Last one, inhale, gate. Exhale, modified side plank. Inhale, just come back to center and bring that left knee next to the right. Take a moment, get situated. And then we're going to bring our right leg out to the side in that sort of triangle. Creating the triangle on the other side. When you're ready, you're going to slide that right hand down your right leg. Bring that left arm up and overhead for gate on the right side. And now we're going to bring that left hand down to the outside of the left hip as we reach our right arm up and overhead for modified side plank on the other side. Now let's move with the breath 3 times. Inhale the gate. Exhale, modified side plank. Inhale, gate. Exhale, modified side plank. Inhale, gate. Exhale, modified side plank. Inhale, come back up to center and bring that right knee next to the left again. From here, you're going to come up on to your toes so that you're kind of propped up on your toes. And maybe you just take your hands to your lower spine and arch your spine back as you lift your chest and look up towards the ceiling in a modified version of camel. And you're welcome to stay there. Maybe you take blocks on either side of your feet as you reach down for those to stretch down a little deeper in camel. Or maybe you reach all the way back for the tops of those heels. Wherever you are, lift, press those hips forward, lift that chest to the sky, look up to the ceiling. Modified back bend, opening our hearts as Pisces asks us to do. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to all make our way to tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Nice flat spine. Feeling the mat underneath those shins, the tops of your feet, your hands, your fingertips. Pressing away from the mat. Feeling that gentle core activation. And from here, we're going to activate our core just a little bit more. We're going to inhale, raise our left arm in front of us so that it is parallel to our spine. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you lift that right leg so it is also parallel to our spine in a spinal balance. If you're here ready for bird dog, you can inhale, reach your foot towards the back, your hand towards the front, and then exhale, bring that elbow and knee together as you round your spine. 2 more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach one last time. And exhale, bring it all to the mat. Take a moment here. Maybe you want to take a round or 2 of cat-cow. As you reset that spine, come back to center. We're building a little heat already. And when you're ready, inhale, reach that right arm forward, parallel with your spine. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you reach your left leg back, parallel to the spine as well in bird dog. And if you're ready, reach out far on an inhale. Exhale, bring that elbow and knee in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Last one out. Exhale, last one in. Sorry, last one out now. And now bring it down. Sorry about that. My mistake. Yogi counting, right? Take one more breath here in tabletop and slowly walk those hands forward just a little bit. Curl those toes under. Inhale deeply, and on an exhale, lift those knees up, press those hips up to the sky. In downward facing dog. Take a moment here to make sure you're pressing those heels down towards the mat. Maybe they don't touch, maybe they do. Either way is fine as long as they are reaching towards the mat. You're feeling good stretch in the back of those legs. Lifting those hips high, not dumping in them. We don't want to do this, that's plank. We want downward dog, hips up high. One breath here. Inhale, lift that right leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need to take to bring your right foot between your hands. Now keep that back left leg that back left heel lifted as you rise on up, reaching those arms up to the ceiling in a high lunge. Sink down into those hips, straighten that left leg, square those hips off. Strong posture, forward thinking so we can move forward in this first quarter moon. Inhale and exhale, bring that right arm forward, left arm back as you spin that left heel back and down, sinking into that right knee. Warrior two. This is very resemblant of the centaur, pulling back that bow and arrow in Sagittarius, also giving you that vision, looking over that middle finger of your right hand so you can look forward, have that forward thinking, forward momentum. We're going to do a little flow here in Warrior 2, one that we haven't done in this Yoga by the Moon channel before. You're going to turn your palms so they're facing the left wall over there. So you're still going to keep your arms here in this Warrior 2 posture, still keep your legs in this Warrior 2 posture, reaching both ways, but your palms are going to be facing out now. On an inhale, we're going to keep these Warrior 2 arms. On an exhale, just turning through the torso and the arms, we're going to close that left hand into the right. So now we're sort of closing that bow and arrow. Inhale, open on up. Exhale, close those arms. We're going to do two more like that. Inhale, open on up. Exhale, close those arms. Last one, open on up. Exhale, close. And now just open those arms back up into Warrior 2. You're going to take that left leg and we're going to step up just a little bit, kind of shortening that distance between the right and left legs. Keep your arms outstretched in that Warrior 2 posture and kind of tick-tock down so that your right hand is towards the mat, your left hand is towards the ceiling. Now we're at a 90-degree angle. Now this is where you might want that block. You might want to take that block upright and hold on to it with that right hand. And when you feel stable here, maybe come up on those left toes. Maybe that's all you can do today. Maybe you slowly lift that left leg into half moon. We're not in a half moon phase, but this is a very fiery moon-based pose, so I thought it appropriate for this particular quarter moon. One more breath here. On an exhale, bring that left leg down to meet the right and sweep those arms on up overhead and bring your palms down to your heart. Take a breath here in mountain pose, collecting yourself, feeling that fire. And inhale, reach your arms on up overhead. And this time as you exhale, swan dive all the way down to the ground. Forward fold, as generous a bend in your knees as you require. Inhale, lift up to a flat spine. Exhale, back to forward fold. Plant those hands. Now you may wish to just step back to downward dog, or maybe you step your right foot back and then your left into a high plank. And then you slowly drop in tricep push-up, chaturanga. Press on up into an upward dog, bringing those hips towards the floor. Inhale, and then exhale. Those hips to the sky. And now we are all in downward facing dog. That is the only chaturanga of the practice. I know I said it's a fiery one, and it is a fiery practice, but that is the only chaturanga, I promise. Take a breath here in downward dog. And then on your next inhale, raise that left leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you require to step it between your hands. Keeping that right heel lifted. Sinking into your hips and into that left knee, raising those arms. High lunge. Nice, strong posture, strong focus. Charging in with that energy of Sagittarius into this energy of the first quarter moon. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back as you turn that right heel back and down, sinking into that left knee. Warrior two. Once again, we're in that strong warrior, that strong centaur pulling the bow and arrow back posture, mimicking that focused energy, that thoughtful, intellectual forward momentum. One more breath here. And as you do that, I'm going to remind you that we're going to turn our palms this way, this time towards the right wall, out, and we're going to take that breathing flow here in Warrior Two. Inhale, reach left arm forward, right arm back. Exhale as you close that right arm into the left, turning your torso. Inhale, open on up. Exhale, close. Two more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open on up to Warrior Two. Step that right leg up just a little bit as you tick-tock those arms, left arm down towards the mat, right arm towards the sky. Once again, you may want that block to kind of be an aid here in this balancing posture, very challenging balancing posture. Look towards that right wall. Maybe you come up on those right toes, or maybe you lift that right leg towards the sky here in half moon. I always say that my yoga props are not props. They are my accessories. They enhance, just like an accessory enhances your look, your props enhance your practice. So do not feel bad for using them. One more breath here. Exhale, bring that right foot to meet the left. Inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale, palms together, down to heart center. And breathe. We have one more balancing practice in this flow today. It is my favorite balancing pose, and it is one for focus, which it kind of harnesses both the energy of that first quarter moon and the energy of Sagittarius. And it grounds us into the here and now, into the way forward, so that we can have a logical path ahead. Because when you have Pisces, the dreamer, you can get a little bit lofty and kind of out of the realm of reality a little bit if you let that happen too much. So we are going to take a moment for grounding, to kind of tie that and anchor that in reality, so that we can move forward, let our path of alignment forward unfold in present reality in a realistic way. We're going to do that with tree. So you're going to shift your weight into your right foot. And when you're ready, you're going to turn your left leg out into a triangle. And maybe you just keep your left heel on your ankle, on the right ankle to the side. Maybe you want to try balancing a little bit, and you bring the inside of that left foot to the outside of your right shin. Or maybe you bring the inside of that left foot to the inside of that right thigh. Wherever you are, do not press into your knee or you will get all wonky and really do some damage. We don't want that. Keep your hands however you would like. Maybe you want to keep them at prayer. Maybe you want to grow your tree. Maybe you want them at prayer overhead. Maybe you want them out. Maybe you want them down. Wherever you are, find a point of focus and breathe. One more breath in here. Exhale, bring that left foot down next to the right. Maybe you want to shake out your legs a little bit. Sometimes balancing on one leg over the other can kind of make one leg feel a little tired, especially the one that was doing the work. And when you're ready, we're going to shift our weight into that left foot for tree on the inside. Maybe you turn your right heel into the inside of your left ankle. Sorry, my yogi directions again. Maybe you want to try your balance with your left shin pressing into your right foot. Maybe you want to bring your right foot all the way up into the inside of your left shin, right thigh. Wherever you are, again, do not press into that knee. Find a drishti, a point of balance ahead, a point of focus ahead of you to help you maintain your balance. Do with your arms as you wish, as feels right to you. Tap into that intuition of Pisces, that focus of Sagittarius. Uniting those two seemingly opposite signs in a singular posture, finding our center. One more breath in, and exhale, bring that right foot down to meet the left. Maybe you want to give those legs a shake, a little wiggle once again. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, look up as your hands meet. Exhale, swan dive all the way forward. Hands to the mat, forward fold. Have as generous a bend in your knees as you need. Pull your chest through in a nice, generous forward fold. Release through the back of those thighs. Whenever you're ready, we're just going to bend our knees very generously until our bum hits the mat, with our knees bent in front of us, feet on the mat for now. Take your hands on your shins as you pull your chest through, lift it. Nice tall spine. When you're ready, let go of those shins, but keep your chest where it is, reaching those arms forward in front of you. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you lift one leg up so that your shin is parallel to the mat. Maybe you lift your other leg up so that both shins are parallel to the mat. Boat pose, our last fiery posture for focus. We're stirring up that energy for that forward momentum. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. And out as you bring those feet to the mat and lay your upper body onto the mat as well. Bring those shoulders back and down. Keep the soles of your feet planted on the mat with those knees bent. Take a breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to peel our hips off the mat as we slowly lift vertebrae by vertebrae, our spine off the mat. In a nice little reset posture and bridge. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower that spine back to the mat till your hips come back down. We're going to drop our left heel to the bottom of the mat, laying that left leg down. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to bring that right knee into our chest. Now maybe you want it in towards the stomach, over towards the center. Maybe that's not comfortable. You need to create some space and you bring it towards your right armpit or anywhere in between, wherever feels good to you. But we are winding our practice down here in wind relieving pose. One more breath in here. And when you're ready, take that left hand to the outer part of your right leg. And then as you exhale, pull that right leg across to the left side of your mat, keeping your right shoulder down, upper body still pressed onto the mat, and gentle reclined spinal twist. Maybe you want to open that right arm out to the side. Maybe you even want to turn your head to look over at that right shoulder. Twisting slightly deeper. Slowing down your breath. One more breath in here. As you exhale, bring that right leg back up to the right. Hug it into the chest one more time, and then slowly let that right heel meet your left at the bottom of the mat. Take a moment and notice how the right side feels versus the left. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's different. There is no right or wrong answer. Just be in your body and notice. Inhale. And as you exhale this time, bring that left knee towards your chest. Now maybe you have it more towards the center of your body. Maybe you bring it more towards your left armpit or anywhere in between, wherever you need to create space, wherever feels good to you without hyperextending. We don't want to hurt ourselves. You keep a nice brightness in that left foot, that'll help keep a good activation. Kind of keeping that forward momentum energy still as we wind down. One more breath in. On an exhale, we're going to take our right hand to the outside of our left leg as we pull that left leg across to the right side of the mat, opening out in the left wing, keeping that left shoulder down onto the mat. Maybe you want to turn your head to look over the left shoulder. Recline twist on the other side. Tapping into that gut-brain connection in this posture as we wind down, harnessing the energy of Pisces and Sagittarius simultaneously. One more breath in here. As you exhale, slowly bring that left knee back to center. Hug it in one more time. And then exhale, bring that left heel down to meet the right. This time, palms face up on either side of your hips. Maybe you slowly close your eyes or find a soft gaze in our final resting posture in Shavasana. And I will take you through a guided meditation for this first quarter moon. Lie in that comfortable reclined position. And now you can keep your hands on either side, or you can place one hand on your heart and the other over your solar plexus on your belly. Breathe into your heart and slow your breath down gradually, making the length of the inhales and exhales the same. Imagine that your heart is expanding front, back, sides, as you enter into your own space of love, peace, calm and silence. Slowly relax more and more with each breath, continuing to be mindful of that breath. Focus on your breath. Listen in as you focus more intently on each inhale, each exhale. Hear your heart beating. Listen to what it is whispering to you. As you listen into your heart, you're shifting your focus, connecting with your body. And you notice your mind and your body begin to synchronize. This is coherence and connecting with more consciousness by slowing down the breath and practicing being still. Take a moment and breathe in the stillness all around and within. Imagine a beautiful silvery white luminous light that you're breathing in throughout all of your body, your cells, your energy systems. Breathe in this light, feeling it continue to expand the toroidal field of your heart. Feel the energy, the life force gently moving through you, all around you. Stay with this feeling. Embrace and immerse yourself in this feeling of just being and breathing. You remember your intentions, dreams, and wishes from the new moon. Solidify this in your heart right now as the moon starts to grow. Envision yourself, feel into the emotions of these wishes becoming true. You believe in yourself as you draw in another long, deep breath. And you catch a beautiful view of the growing moon and her orb with a luminous, colorful aura all around her. You feel the gentle, shimmering pulse of energy of the moon. What is she whispering to you? What messages do you receive? What connections do you feel? As her slender curve of light rests before you, there is a certain knowing, a certain power that brings. Even though the moon is still in her early phase, she holds so much intuition and guidance. It's like a power that seeks to grow within you. As the moon is growing to her full expression and expansiveness, so do your dreams and desires grow from within you, from the seeds that you planted on the new moon. Imagine yourself achieving all of these desires and getting into connection with your creative side. And watch this expand and come alive within you, much like a beautiful flower on her way to fully blooming and expressing herself. Along with that comes the strength, the will, and all the tools you'll need to create. Imagine what happiness and joy this will bring not only to yourself, but to others too. Who is it you wish to inspire? You are your own muse, and you are shining brightly. You are understanding that the seeds you planted and your intentions, thoughts, and words impacting others positively, near and far. Continue to breathe in this beautiful silvery white light into your heart and all of your body, in and out, in and out. You are even more relaxed now. All you feel is positivity, love, peace, and joy. You're so relaxed from the tips of your toes all the way up your legs and torso, to the tips of your fingers and the crown of your head. You feel the healing energy filling up your whole body, mind, and soul, expanding out beyond your physical body in this space and beyond. When you're ready, please bring awareness back to the present moment. Become aware of your surroundings, the noises in or outside the room, and slowly wiggle your fingers and toes elbows and knees. Maybe you hug yourself tightly. Maybe you stretch your body out long. And when you're ready, turn to one side. Gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. If your eyes were closed or had a soft gaze, slowly flutter those eyelids and come back into the room. Take this calmness with you through the coming days. Continue to breathe into that heart space and allow that energy, that prana, that breath of life to fill your body. Allow it to fill your life as the moon becomes more full. Let's take one more breath in together and out as we bring our hands to our heart. Our next practice will be for the next full moon, so I hope you will join me. It is always my honor that you join me in these beautiful practices. I hope you are feeling the power of the moon and the zodiac signs and where they are placed and how they can move through your life. And I hope you are feeling empowered, calm, and peaceful and joyful and hopeful. From my heart to yours, namaste.